Are you also tired of dominating a game in Football Manager 26 only to lose points to a single sloppy corner? Or all of your own corners and free kicks just getting wasted, ending in absolutely nothing? What if I told you that mastering set pieces is actually the key you need to win more games? I'm talking about adding 20 plus goals a season to your tally purely from dead ball situations. I will guide you through the process of making your team a true set piece powerhouse so you can turn your team into an attacking machine and defensive fortress that will completely transform your results. But before I reveal this set piece tactics to you guys, I just want to show you how we did in the Premier League with Brentford that we used the set pieces with. And just take a look. We finished in 7th place with 59 points, which means we got European football. And to do that with Brentford in my first season with no signings is actually quite impressive, I would say. And yes, my people, here is the set piece tactics that you've been waiting for. And let me just break it down to you guys. We start out with corners in the defending scenario. We have 6 players in the box that are aerial defenders, and to see which players we have, we can just simply press on this one and then actually ranks your players from the best to the worst players in these roles. And to see the players that are playing these roles in your starting 11, you can simply just press on show starting 11, and then there you can see what players is actually having what roles and duties that they need to do. The thing that is key from defending set pieces is that you need players to both mark the near post and the back post. When having players marking the near post, you're marking your opposition's best aerial attackers, but most of the time you can find them in the near post and the back post. So what you want to do is have your BO on mark near post B1, Zonal marking 6-yard box in the near post. We have 2 players marking the near post. Then we have 2 of your players mark for post and Zonal marking 6-yard box for post. And then for B4, B5 and B6, just leave it on player mark. And then for trackers, you want 2 trackers to stay on the edge of the area. The reason that we don't want to do this is that when you're defending a corner, there's usually 1 or 2 players right outside the box that just stands there and waits for a clearance where they can pick up the ball and get a shot on target. And if we can prevent from conceding those types of goals, it's a huge difference maker. And you also want just 1 of your players to be ready for counterattacks. You don't want 2 or 3, because the thing is that when you win the ball from clearing the ball from a corner and you play it up to your striker, you just drive forward with the ball and then he stops and wait for people to actually support him. That's a reason that we'll need 1 player, because if you have 2 or 3 players, then you're losing plays that you could be defending with. And for the attacking scenario, we have 2 routines. And if we start with routine 1, we have deliver type on in swinger and aim for near post. Is that you want 3 aerial threats in the box. We have 2 of them to attack the near post. And the reason we're having 2 players to attack near post is that we can see here B1, he's a little bit forward than BO. And the reason for this is when BO attacking the near post, one of the other team's defenders, he's gonna mark him, which means that the other team's best aerial defender, he's gonna mark our B1, our BO, which is our best aerial threat. You can just run right beside them and then knock the ball into the back of the net. Easy as that. I've been scoring a lot more set pieces and it's just really meta in this game, so please try and use it. And then we also want 1 of our players to attack the far post, because when our player is crossing the ball into the box, there sometimes is a deflection which lands to the far post, and then we have 1 of our players just being dead. We also want 1 of our players to mark the keeper to make it difficult for him to reach the ball when he's coming off of his line. And the next thing I want to highlight is that we have 3 players being outside of the box. 1 of them is near side, 1 of them is center, and the last one is on far side. The reason for this is, because I said before, there's many times in this game where the ball just get deflected or they clear the ball and lands right outside the box. And for you to have 3 players right there, it's actually really crucial, because either there's going to be space for them to shoot or pass the ball to a player who can probably score a goal for us. And you also want 2 recovery defenders. And for the second routine we have is actually the exact same as before, but the difference from this is that we have aim for short, and then 1 of our players come out short to receive the ball, pass it to D1, maybe pass it to D2, pass it to BO, who knows. And the thing I really do need to mention also is that you have to modify the frequencies of this. You just simply tap this button right here, modify routine frequencies, and right here you can see how often this routine is actually being played. It should be looking like this for you, and what I recommend you is that you put the routine 2 on less often, because this way your routine 1 is the average way you keep your set pieces from different corners, and then you have routine 2 keeping it short. But again, it actually depends, because in some games you'll end up getting dominated at the near post. You won't even come near the ball because your opponent's aerial defenders is way taller than your aerial threats. So what you actually want to do is that you just want to keep the routine 2, keep it on more often, and keep the routine 1 on less often. And for the shooting range in free kicks, For the defending scenario, you just want to keep your area defenders on player mark, and your trackers, you still want to have 2 players outside of the area to prevent those goals. Still want to have 1 attacker being ready for counterattacks, and then you want to have 3 players forming a wall. For the attacking scenario, it's also quite easy. We really don't have an option here. You just want to have your players to go forward. Then you also want to have one of your players to stand with the taker. Maybe you can pass it short if the opportunity arises, and have one look outside area center, and then you want to have 2 players as being recovery defenders. For the free kicks on wide, for the defending scenario, you just want to have all your area defenders being on player mark and still having 2 players right outside the area. Still want to have 1 player to be forward and 1 player to form wall. I've seen some people talking about this defensive line right here, and really just don't keep it on deep, because if you're going on deep, this means that the opponents can just lay a simple cross into the box and make it way more difficult for your goalkeepers to actually come out and reach the ball, because there's so many players in the box. I'd also see some people recommended to putting on high, but again, the thing is that when you leave a defensive line on high from defending free kicks, is that when the taker is laying cross into the box here, sometimes it ends up getting a deflection, and if one of the opponent's players is making a good run, staying onside, you just have an open goal. When the ball is right here, you can just run into it and score a goal. We don't want that, so to prevent that, just keep it on balance. And for the attacking scenario, you just want to have in swinger and aim form to be on mix, and having your best aerial threat to be attacking your post, and still want to have 3 players outside the box lurking, and still having 2 recovery defenders. For the free kicks on deep in the defending scenario, you just want to have all your area defenders being on player mark, having 2 trackers on player mark. Also, we cannot use the edge of the area in this scenario, and again, have one of our players stay forward and one of our players to form a wall. For the attacking scenario, we want aim for mix, but now we want our 2 best aerial threats to attack near post and attack far post if the opportunity arises that the ball ends up being there, and still have 3 players looking outside the area of the box and having 2 recovery defenders. Defensive third in the attacking scenario, just keep it on retained position, works the best for me. Defending, on the other hand, is the exact same instructions that we had for corners defending, so just apply that. For throw-ins, middle third, keep it on retained position again also, and throw-ins attacking third. If you have players like I have here in Brentford with Michael Coyote and Matthias Jensen being pretty good at long throws, then I recommend you guys put long throws on. If not, then just have work ball into the box. But again, you just want to have your 3 aerial threats to go forward, 3 players outside the box, and 3 players to recover defenders, because most of the time when you're throwing a long throw into the box, the keeper ends up getting the ball and usually just kicks the ball or throws the ball to the attacking players being here. And if you only have 1 or 2 players being recovered defenders facing maybe 4 or 5 players, we are cooked, okay? So please just have 3 recovered defenders in this scenario. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. I hope these set piece tactics will help you score more goals, defend way better, and see you win more games and stop conceding those sloppy goals. Remember to like and subscribe if this video has helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.